It's been a while, but I've been working on quite a few things and made progress. The difficulty is figuring out how to sort them and get them in order. But the first thing, well, there's a couple of important things, and why I think they're important is because they've been fixed at the root cause fixes. And the reason that's important is because if you fix things at the root, it tends to make the program more stable. And if you just fix the symptom of things over time, it tends to make the program less stable and harder to maintain and more prone to more and more bizarre bugs. So obviously, not so obviously, is these flickering textures. The two of them there. And then the one on the wall here. And a couple of them up here. Okay, so I said a couple of them up here, and it will be obvious. So you might think, oh, well, that one's not flickering, but you'll see why it's obvious in a second. I'll load the fix and we'll be back. And here we are back with the fixed textures. And the reason, so it turns out that the root cause of the flickering is because the textures themselves have a problem. And when you fix the texture at the root, which is the texture in the file system, wherever it appears, it will be fixed in the game if they ever use it again. You don't have to go through and find it everywhere. And the other effect of that is that the textures are also being displayed much larger than they should be. And I suppose some people might have an issue with that, but so what I've done is I've gone to the Valve developer site and highlighted the line that says that the scale on these should be the same as the scale for the faces that they're being applied to, the brushes that they're being applied to, which on this map and most maps it's 0.25, as they say on the website. Some of them are even smaller. Another important thing to know if you're trying to decide if this is correct or not is that there's two types of these textures that you'll find used. Some are decals and some are illusionary, and they're different. And these are decals, so that's why I referenced the decal part on the website, the Valve website. And those are those two fixed correctly. Here's the other. And if you just think about it and look at the rest of the game, you know, just some common sense should tell you that they're much too large. And then the flickering on the one on the floor is fixed, as I said, and the one on the wall wasn't flickering, but the problem with the one on the wall was, again, that it's displayed much too large. So for our next stop, we're going to go to Society of Leopold. But, and I don't know if I said this, but I should have said this. This is just the official version 1.2 straight off of Steam without any game file changes other than the texture file changes that I made. So now we're ready for Society of Leopold. Here we are at the Society of Leopold. And I have switched programs again. I'm in my Undisciplined Caitiff mod because that's what I'm working on updating right now. So, and when all these fixes are done, they'll be ported to my patch, my standard mod patch. But the fix here is for these boxes, and you should be able to pick this this debris piece up and throw it, but for some reason I can't get a hand here. Sometimes I do get a hand. It seems like females are better at getting the physics hand, but even if they do get the physics hand, it seems like it eventually goes away, and I don't know if that's based on time. It seems like it lasts 60 seconds, or if too many of these debris pieces accumulate on the floor, the physic hand for the females disappears before the 60 seconds expires. And then, so that's pretty simple. And now we just need to look at the fix for that. So I'll fix the physics and be back. We're back with the fixed models. So we can do the same little test here. And we see that they're disappearing the same. But in this case, these tops will also disappear over time. And then these debris pieces here, we still aren't able to use the physics hand, but at least we can, they're supposed to break down like this, so that was the bug. And because now that I fixed that bug, at least we have a means of getting rid of them. They'll disappear over time and we can clean them all up. And because it's fixed at the root, anywhere these exist, like upstairs in that little room with the explosives and the laser trip, it's really bad. If these pile up, you can get stuck really easily. So now we'll be able to clean those up. The physics hand, I don't know why it's still not working. But I wasn't able to do anything about that so far. The other thing I did was, this Glock has kind of become an obsession of mine. What I did, removed the selector switch from the slide that didn't belong there. And when I did that, it underneath where it used to be there, it was missing 2 ribs. And on the info model, I replaced those ribs because it was more obvious. You're a lot closer to it. And so then when I did that, I started working on it, and I made all of the dimensions to match a Glock 17, the shape and the trigger and everything. And there were quite a few texture fixtures that I also did. And the reason, like if you're in lighting like this, most of the lighting you won't notice that the ribs on this model aren't fixed. But now everything's fixed, like I said. Even all of the models match. Even the ground model is proper shape and dimensions for Glock 17. And it has all the details. It has the trigger and the sights and everything else it should have. And what else did I do? Not sure we can get to it. We'll try. In the original game, these balusters didn't meet up with the railing, and I fixed that as well. Is that everything? Oh, no, it isn't. So let's do something else. So I've been working on lots of models. And I've also added clans that you can play instead of just the Caitiff. You should be able to play all of the clans now. And these are new and unique to the mod. And I've been working on, like I said, the models and the armor and the clothes for these people. And I have changed more than just, well, I won't say what I've changed. But anyway, that is the update, so thank you for watching.